Guys, it's a busy day, and I'm just so excited, and I hope you keep subscribing, because you motivate me a lot to keep doing the videos. But I want to tell you something about the match we are going to go. Of course, very few hours from now, and there is something very interesting about the match that I need you to stay updated on. I want to tell you about David Moyes, Michael Carrick, and one interesting guy from Everton called Iliman Ndiaye. I talked about him in one of my videos, and he wants to play for United, by the way. And I think United will be trying to sign him in the summer. And let me tell you about David Moyes. David Moyes is a guy who has ever coached Manchester United. Of course, just immediately after the exit of Sir Alex Ferguson, and that was in 2013-2014 season, and he was sacked, unfortunately. But of course, claims were like he didn't live up to expectations of the club, but also the club always doesn't support the coaches that they bring in, just like Ruben Amorim recently. Um, we are told David Moyes was sacked. He finished seventh in the league. Of course, they missed Champions League, and it was with 64 points. I wonder how interesting it was those days, because with 64 points, you're number seven, by the way. I just wonder, because like right now we are number four, but we only have 45 points. Those days, 64 points, you're number seven. I wonder. Somebody can tell me what used to happen those days. But just immediately after the sacking of David Moyes, Ryan Giggs came on. Of course, a club legend. He came on to assist for the remaining matches, just like Michael Carrick is doing right now. So I think this is where David Moyes derives his aura from. This is where he gets used to United, and he is that manager who is able to beat us, by the way. So today, even as we go into this one, we have to be brilliant, and have that in mind, that David Moyes is the guy we are going to face, and he kind of knows what it takes to beat Manchester United. Of course, he did it in the first leg, and he has so many interesting players in his team, and some of them will not feature today. Of course, I Grealish will be out. I think, yes, Grealish will be out. There is another interesting guy called is it Brian something? He will also be out. I hope you know him. Then he's a right back, because he got a red card in their last match against Bournemouth, where they lost. By the way, they lost in that one. And let me update you on their form. They have won. They have now won in their last five, just like us. They have won. They have won only two. They have drawn two, and they have lost the recent one against Bournemouth, where it might be even because of the red card. You never know, because we just not have to relax about that. Of course, you know our form. We have won four and drawn one, so that is where we stand. And uh, United players have to uh, stay warned about this David Moyes. He's an organizer. The way I know, he can switch his team, and will cause havoc to us, and that's what we want to avoid. So I want to also tell you about one interesting guy, that is Ndiaye, in his squad. This is a guy who recently gave an interview saying how he supported Manchester United from the start of his career. He dies to play for Manchester United, and he is a winger, by the way. He plays in the right wing. I think both wings, maybe, if I remember so well, because in their previous match against Bournemouth, I think he was deployed in the number seven in the right wing. And I think United have to watch out for him, because of course, you always want to prove a point that this is a team I want to play for. So you will want to hurt them, so that they will maybe they will remain. You want to be the talk of the town after that game. Of course, you remember like those days of Ryan Chucky who went to Manchester City when we faced them in the, was it Carabao something or Europa, I think, where he was he hurt us, so he remained the talk of town, and everybody was like, let's bring in Ryan Chucky. And had it not been just for United being slow in making their signings, so we ended up missing out on signing him, and he went direct to Manchester City. And now you see what he's doing the other side. So it is going to be the same thing with this guy today, Ndiaye. I see problems coming right in there. So our defenders have to do something about him. Uh, they should handle him the proper way, because we don't want any mistakes, and we want to make sure we get away with the 3 points, and the rest will be history right in there. So guys, so Michael Carrick is our guy, and I hope Michael Carrick just does it brilliantly. We have not yet seen the starting 11. Of course, it will be dropping very soon, and it gets very interesting. Of course, that number 9 position is what we are all speculating. Will there be any changes? Will there be any kind of twisting and so on? Of course, Michael Carrick doesn't like twisting. That is the point. But never know. Maybe this time he will look around and find his ways. But whichever way, of course, the end will always justify the means. Uh, as long as we get away with the 3 points, no one will scrutinize him for whatever decisions he makes, or the substitutions, or the starting 11, whichever, anything can work, as long as we get the 3 points. So I that is it. That is it. I'm predicting a 2-1 in no, not a 2-1, a 2-0 by the way. Yes. I'm predicting a 2-0 in that one. And I'm just hoping Senelamen stays brilliant. Of course, after his wonderful interviews, praising himself of how he is. He, I'm even forgetting what he talked about, but I hope he stays brilliant and tries to save us, because these guys might come wanting something to go to top their on top of their goals, and I think they have a negative right in there, and they are sitting at position number 9 and we are number 4. So guys, that is where we stand. I want you to keep subscribing.